Just can't catch him out. The Diamond Challenge Sculls. Poulsen against Parsonage.
Go!
That's Poulsen on the Berkshire station. The Dane. Haven't got out quite as sharply as Ben Parsonage, who's on the Buck station. Now they're evening it up, but let's have a little look. There's Poulsen, the Dane, and it's all about getting the early rhythm. He's going at a cracking rate there, but trying to halt, but he's not going to be able to maintain that for the full
no,
full course.
Definitely not. No, he's gone off, you know, high as you want to, high cadence, high rate, get out the blocks as quickly as possible, really get the boat speed up.
Yeah, that early sprint, scrambling away from Temple Island, but a half-length lead for the Dane.
It's such a unique event. You know, you've got different events, you've got the 8s, the 4s, the pairs, but this one I always find is the mental side of it. That head-to-head battle, there's no one around you, it's just you thinking, trying to process what your body's going through with the pain you're exerting yourself, but then trying to manage the race plan strategy, where you need to be.
There's nowhere to hide, is there, here? You're very much on show. So, down the course they come. The Dane's got a little bit of a stranglehold early. And they can change the lead quickly here.
Yeah, and because it's a small boat, it's just a single, you can change speed really quickly. We talked about the other boats, you know, being bigger, it's hard to change speed, but in a single, you know, you can really move up the rate very quickly. You don't have to wait for others to kind of move with you, and you can change speed really quickly. So it is about staying in contact, just making sure that you can see at your peripherals your competitor on the other side, because once they break contact, they just seem to disappear very quickly.
So the Dane doing very well, just finished his bachelor's degree in techno-anthropology and starting a master's degree in September. Pascal Poulsen. He moves well, doesn't he? He's clearly a class performer.
The Danes have definitely got some pedigree, so it's good to see, you know, taking on the challenge of doing the single at the regatta. This is definitely one of the toughest events, kind of the singles we have here for the men and women.
He's 26 years old now, first Henley Royal Regatta.
And this is the best time to race in these small boats, is in the morning, because as I was talking about, the liveliness and the energy in the water isn't so great because there's not so much craft out there, so you definitely, in a smaller boat, would definitely want to be as early in the day as possible.
Ben Parsonage with everything to do here, 28 years old. He's rowed previously at Henley. So just watching him try and stay in touch with the Dane. Not too far down. This is Ben Parsonage doing his work. PhD student at the University of Strathclyde.
Yeah, he's son of George Parsonage, an absolute legend in Scotland. I know that him and Peter Haining did their row across Lake, is it Loch Lomond or something? They hold the record or something. So George is an incredible, you know, I'd say he's an entertainer. He's such a lovely guy. And obviously you've got Peter, which is a character in himself. Peter's obviously coaching him.
Yeah, Peter Haining, the coach, and his dad, George, who competed in the Diamond Sculls at Henley many times. Rode the final of the double sculls in 1971. And his mum rode in the GB Women's Squad as well in the 80s. Stephanie Dancer. So pretty good rowing heritage, good rowing stock Ben Parsonage is from.
And just, yeah, being coached by Peter, you're going to hear lots of funny stories as well. You know, some of the crazy things he would have done in the single, and learning from that, and how to, those mind games you'd play with your competitors.
And he mentions that Nick Thomas has been coaching him this week while in Henley, including through the qualifiers, but he's going to have some work to do here because there's couple of lengths lead for Poulsen, the Dane. Can Ben Parsonage do anything about it? It's now or never, isn't it? He's going to have to really put the pedal to the metal if he's going to turn this round.
Yeah, it's just good. As you can see, that there's space between the two craft now, so you know Poulsen's really moved out, so there's no contact now, so that makes it really hard for Ben to sense where Poulsen is.
Yeah, motivation could be a bit of an issue here, the incentive.
And
he's maintaining it, isn't he? But he just can't make any inroads into that lead.
And that's the kind of, I always think, the loneliest part of the course, because you're in the centre of the river. You know, the way the river kind of and the banks curve, that is the centre part, and that's where it's the quietest part, if you want to call it that. And you can sometimes get lost there if you lose contact of who you're racing.
Because you're on the buck station further away from the Berkshire banks. So
yeah, you're not surrounded by, you're, as I said, you're kind of in the centre, so you can't sense anything. And especially if your competitor's gone, it becomes very isolated and very lonely.
Whereas on Saturday afternoon, you've got so many other craft on the water, on that other side of the water, on the buck side, that actually you won't feel so lonely, will you? It'll be a bit more social there.
Well, you'll have people moored up against the boom, so it keeps it enclosed, if you want to call it that.
So this is Parsonage, Ben Parsonage, the 28-year-old, who has a lot to do in front of the regatta and stewards enclosure if he's to turn around Poulsen's lead. Poulsen, who's led from Temple Island. Poulsen looking very composed. Got a good rhythm, got good control of things here. Bossing the race.
He looks to be moving well, yeah, as you said, in complete control, and just has that nice advantage now where he can look back and really, you know, kind of man-manage the kind of race.
And indeed man-manage the week as well, because having been on the water so early on day 3, in the next round, having controlled this one and with lots of recovery time till whenever his next round race may be, we don't know yet.
And that's the important thing, is when you finish racing, is, you know, how do you maximize that time you have, whether it's food, exercise, sleep, staying hydrated, because you can, like with the entertainment and excitement of the regatta, you can kind of get...
Oh, is there some of that?
But if you start walking around seeing people, it just drains your legs. So it's about, you know, how you get away and get rested, you know, for your next kind of race.
That I do know about. It's unbelievable walking up and down the towpath here.
Have you been getting your steps in the last few days?
Without any trouble. But that's been counteracted by the social side of it. I mean, it's just everybody's here.
Well, it's just, what I love is that you walk a few feet and you see someone you haven't seen for a while, you have a great conversation.
You can't get anywhere fast.
No, but that's the beauty of it. You can come here on your own and just move from one person to another that you haven't seen in a year or 10 years or whatever it may be.
And the more time goes on, the more years we have, the more people you get to know, the slower those journeys are. Anyway, good work from Askell Poulsen, who will have to avoid the temptations of what goes on socially on the bank and get his feet up and be ready for the next round, because in the Diamond Challenge Sculls he goes through. Good performance from him against Ben Parsonage, who goes over the line now. A little bit of celebration from Askell Poulsen. He'll be very pleased with his work this morning. So the Dane progresses in the Diamond Challenge Sculls.